Hello beautiful souls, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Anu and I am your intuitive tarot host. Let's get into our daily messages. Apparently speaking may be a challenge today. Okay, let's see what we have. These are general, please keep that in mind. So if they don't resonate, check out another reading in the playlist. All right, so Spirit, what does the collective need to hear today? What is the situation that you want to talk about, or we want to talk about, we want to hear about? Let's see. We have the Ace of Wands. Okay, very nice. Let's see, what is this? What is the advice, Spirit? What is the advice for the situation? The High Priestess. Very nice. And what is the likely outcome should you choose to follow the advice? Ooh, this just popped right out. Look at that, the Nine of Wands. And let's see, what's the bottom deck energy? We have the Seven of Cups. Okay, so what's happening under the surface could apply to any area of your life. We have the Seven of Cups. Okay, so there's a little bit of a confusion, there's a little bit of dilemma, if you want to use that word, but the Seven of Cups talks about not being quite sure which direction to go. You may have multiple options to choose from, or you may just be overwhelmed by the, the scenario and the different paths that you could take. So that may be brewing, and it may be delaying your decision a little bit because it's just like, it's not very clear which path to pick. Okay, that may be something you may not like see it visibly, but that's maybe like, like how we feel a little bit of a, I'm getting how we feel a little bit of a clenching in our stomach, in our solar plexus, right? We don't quite understand what our body's trying to tell us, but it's about, okay, we're a little bit uncomfortable about picking a path because it's not lining up with our intuition. Okay, so the situation is the Eight of Wands. Now this is something that requires swift movement. Again, as I said, both of these energies kind of showing that there may be a situation that requires you to move quickly, a lot going on, too many things moving at the same time. This could literally be like, you're a marketing executive and you're working on a product launch. It's just like so much to do that it feels a little scattered. It's a lot of attention, a lot of firepower, and can sometimes be a little unnerving, and we can feel a sort of a fatigue is what I'm getting from it. Again, could be a similar thing in a relationship where like you're trying to work on a relationship which seems confusing, maybe non-committal, you want commitment, but at the same time there's so much going on at work, so much going on with the family front. There's like too many topics or too many topics or subjects of your life that call for your attention. That's what the situation looks like. Apply as it fits. The advice from Spirit is actually literally slow down. Close your eyes, sit down with the High Priestess. This is so funny because this card, even her eyes are closed. You see her third eye is lit up. Of course, it's the High Priestess. Your major arcana to me is Piscean energy, but this is like you have the answers within, and even if you're trying to prioritize, see what you feel, you personally think needs to be prioritized. But this is like a very freaky card in a fun sense. Her eyes are actually closed, but on the camera, like I totally see them open, and this is like a very subtle play at the eyeshadow that the artists have in here. So it's basically closed eyes, but you can still see, and this is like you have your third eye is quite active. All you need to do is actually slow down, which is complete opposite of this Eight of Wands energy. If you're feeling scattered, if you're feeling you don't have enough time, this is the time you actually need to make some time for yourself, okay? And trust your intuition. Seven of Cups, as I said, confusion. It can also be confusing messages from others, from people around you, but use your own judgment, use your own discernment. This is your path, this is your life. You are the master of it, okay? You get to call the shots. And it's up to you, but with the High Priestess, usually the advice is like you don't have to come out and share it with other people, because the High Priestess you know, keeps her cards very close to her chest. She does not just go around preaching others, because she understands when people are really open to it, the knowledge will surface and present itself to them. She's not a preacher. Okay, it's a very different energy than the Hierophant, because the Hierophant likes to preach, but the High Priestess, she's like, you know, the divine feminine oracle who has all the knowledge within, but she's very comfortable keeping it with her. She does not judge, or she does not want to teach to others. That's not her inspiration. Her inspiration is learning and using that knowledge, you know, to be on her path. So that's the advice. I know there was a lot of messages in that one card, but your third eye is active. Honor that. Listen to your intuition. Your crown is also lit up at this point. So if you feel like tingling sensations at the top of your head, that's actually a good thing. You know, it's just like messages coming through. Just sit with it. Spend 5 minutes with yourself, and just try to literally ask yourself, my higher self, what are you trying to tell me? Literally do that exercise with the High Priestess, because this is you. This is your higher self over here. And should you choose to follow that advice, the outcome is a 9 of Wands, which is a very secure, let's say, boundary that you will have. You'll be very well protected. You worked hard at this, being on this path. There's a sense of pride. Okay, you're going to feel very strong. And this is also, you'll be proud of that, you know, you stuck to your path and you did not give up. There is also progression. Of course, we're going from the 8 to the 9. The 9 is also a time for, you know, resting. Generally 9 is wish fulfillment, getting very close to completion. So if you know, after 9 of Wands, we have the 10 of Wands, and that talks about ending the burdens, putting it all down. So this is like, you'll be rewarded for your perseverance. And just look at the pride and the way she takes a stance, right? She's taking a stance in her beliefs, in her knowledge, and what her soul is calling her to do. And she has built this little barrier, but look at her soul. This is the inspiration, the soul fire and the knowledge within. Okay, so the outcome is going to be you being in a very secure place on higher ground, and also being rewarded for your perseverance. Okay, all right, let's get your daily affirmation from the Soul's Journey Lessons Oracle. Let's see what, okay, do you want to take this one? I want to get one more actually for you, because I'm not sure. That came out way too fast. Spirit, what's the lesson? What's the affirmation for the group? Oh my goodness. Thank you, Spirit. Perseverance. So let's talk about this. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. This is the 9 of Wands, perseverance. Your perseverance will pay off. And this one flipped out, so we'll just look at it. But I think this was the real message. This is denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Okay, these two were definitely meant to come out. This is all about insight and awareness. It is the High Priestess. It talks about fear, which is the confusion from the 7 of Cups, and then you have perseverance. So, wow, really on point. Oops. Let's see if you can see these two. But you have perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So go on and have a fabulous day. I wish you much love and light, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.